Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. This is the TAFA and chart analysis for February 21st, 2022. Now, today it did actually go down, but there is actually a lot of signals that there's a lot of Bitcoin buying pressure under 40,000. Even the news with Russia basically sending troops into Ukraine and basically trying to derail the peace talks probably later next week. The market did actually have a decent bounce back up of several hundred points. Now, the tension is actually causing the charts to show still downward momentum. As you can see, today or later, or basically late yesterday night, Putin actually recognized the sovereignty of eastern Ukraine states that are held by Russian-backed separatist movements. And after that, after he recognized them today, he actually has ordered the troops in. So this is already an escalation of the conflict. As you can see, Vladimir Putin has ordered Russian forces into rebel eastern Ukrainian regions after recognizing their independence. Now, this conflict is probably going to take a little while to resolve. I don't know if NATO will actually get in militarily, and I don't know how much they'll actually do. But they will probably have some sanctions. However, they're not completely united on this. So this, I think, will result in a little bit more inflation and probably economic uncertainty for more time. So would I actually buy crypto right now? I would wait a few days until I see how this shakes out. So this is basically Putin making a very, very calculated move, as well as an aggressive one, because he's essentially going with his salami slicing strategy of Ukraine anyways. A couple of years ago, about 80 years ago, he took Crimea to get access to the Black Sea. And now he's basically salami slicing Ukraine and basically declaring the sections that are held by Russian-backed Ukrainian separatist rebels as independent and then moving his troops in afterwards. It is a lot like other moves that we've seen in history where there's like maybe like a lot of like an ethnic group that's friendly to another country, and then that country like backs some rebels. The rebels kind of like rebel, and that country recognizes these regions as independent and then move in. We've seen that right before World War II, as well as other points in history. It is a commonly used tactic. Now, the reason they want to do this, like, first of all, they want to secure the areas around the Black Sea. That is a very, very vital economic region. And also, some of these regions in Ukraine are some of the richest, like, food-producing areas that used to be part of the Soviet bloc. So they're kind of like incrementing and trying to secure Russia's economy, as well as doing a land grab for some of Ukraine. And like I said, this is going to make the charts go haywire depending on how this comes out. Now, do I think it'll actually fall too much below 30,000? No, I don't think it'll actually fall too much below 30,000. Like I said, there is a lot of buying pressure in the $40,000 region. You can see like right now, after we have these dips, we pretty much immediately have like these recoveries. And the thing is, like, I know that we actually dipped to around like 36,900, and now we're back up at 37,600 again. Overall, like I said, trending wise, it is slightly going down, but at the same time, there seems to be a lot of recovery strength in the Russia. There seems to be a ton of recovery strength within the market as well, because there's a lot of people scooping it up after below 40,000. And Russia itself, because it knows it's going to get hit with economic sanctions, might actually be buying Bitcoin for their own purposes as well. So right now you can see like we are going down, and then we are coming up a little bit, but not as much as before. I still think we have a couple of steps to go. And it depends on how much escalation of this conflict there is. The sanctions will actually hurt both sides, and it might, if it's a long, drawn-out type of war thing, it actually might affect us for several months, unfortunately. So that's how this Russia-Ukraine thing is going down. I think the vast majority of Americans don't actually want us to send U.S. troops in, and if we don't want to do that, then our options are severely handicapped. So that's actually what we have right now for technical analysis. If you look at the graph and chart, we are going steadily downward a little bit each day, but there is a lot of like buying pressure under 40,000. I think we can hit under 35 and perhaps go as low as 30, but if there's some kind of diplomatic breakthrough, it could bounce us back up. But I think like after Putin's actions, recognizing these independent militia-held areas and sending his troops in to actually occupy, I think the chances of that are getting smaller. So it might be a longer range conflict, and we might be around the lower 30Ks for some time yet. If you look at technical analysis, on the daily, it's definitely sell right now. Oscillators are neutral, but like the moving averages are definitely sell. And because of the economic uncertainty right now that's being caused by the conflict, I would say it's probably a sell as well. Either it's sell or hold and yield farm, which is what I'm doing. So like if you are yield farming, I would suggest selling in increments because that will actually let you profit back at least somewhat as you're waiting for the market to actually recover. So the EMA and the EMA and the SMA obviously both say sell in the short term. And on the longer term, the 50 EMA is way below the 200 EMA, and it'll probably be several weeks, if not months, before that actually changes. So right now, probably not a great buying opportunity. It did dip some today, so if you want to buy a little bit right now, it's okay, but I would definitely like hold back for at least a couple of days, maybe a few weeks to see how all the situation actually turns out. Like I said, I'm not really selling besides the rewards. I wouldn't really sell like giant stacks of coins, but at the same time, like selling the rewards does provide you a little bit of income, and you can get back some of the losses each day if you're actually yield farming. On the weekly, everything is sell again all the way up to the 50. And then that's pretty obvious why. We've been dipping a lot the last couple of days. The oscillators are always going to bring neutral, maybe even slightly buy because they say it's oversold. But due to the political situation right now and the movement of troops in the eastern Ukraine region, that kind of overrides any kind of like oscillator signals right now, even if it is going down very fast. If the situation continues to escalate, I think you'll see the average directional index trend up in value, and that's when we're actually forming a true negative trend from where we are right now. But the signals right now do actually say sell on the weekly. On the monthly, I'm only looking at the 10, and that definitely says sell. The oscillators are actually neutral. But in the next month or two, unless this clears up with a diplomatic solution first, it's very, very hard for me to see like it coming back to a buy status. But hey, maybe they will come up with a diplomatic solution for the US and the EU. Who knows? So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.